Hey guys, it's WrestleMania time again, and we're diving right into the latest wild stories and rumors circulating in the WWE world. There's a lot to unpack this week, from champion frustrations and booking concerns to ticket sales struggles, potential call-ups, celebrity crossovers, and some big historical record being set. Let's jump straight in. First up is a situation with WWE champion Drew McIntyre, who recently opened up about being genuinely upset, not so much over personal digs aimed at him, but over how the WWE Championship and SmackDown as a brand were portrayed in a heated promo. This stems from the Raw after the Royal Rumble, where CM Punk and Roman Reigns had an intense back and forth to build toward their WrestleMania 42 clash. In that segment, they took shots that made McIntyre's title and the blue brand come across as secondary or lesser compared to their star power and the Raw spotlight. McIntyre addressed this on Busted Open Radio, explaining that while he can handle comments about himself and even said the personal jabs weren't that harsh, the negativity toward the championship really got under his skin. He emphasized protecting the prestige of the title he's carrying, noting that he went out on SmackDown and delivered what he called a Braveheart-style speech to rally the roster and defend SmackDown status as a top show. He stressed that the focus should stay on the title and the rivalry between Punk and Reigns, and now it seems like that chapter is closed. McIntyre hopes the SmackDown talent took it to heart and will step up every time they're in the ring to prove they belong. Fans had speculated this could lead to some kind of brand versus brand tag match at WrestleMania reminiscent of older cross-brand wars, but that doesn't seem to be the direction right now. Still, burying the WWE title in such a high-profile way was a questionable creative choice, and it might factor into future angles down the line. Speaking of McIntyre, he's been very clear about who he doesn't want to face at WrestleMania 42, Cody Rhodes. Again, on the same Busted Open appearance, he straight up said anybody but Rhodes, pointing to their past encounters where he feels the outcomes were tainted. He referenced the referee interference in one match and the steel cage bout where he came out on top despite Jacob Fatu's involvement. McIntyre argued that he didn't just beat Rhodes, he overcame both Rhodes and Fatu's interference. He believes putting the title back on Rhodes would revert to the protected Golden Boy status, while he sees himself as the one who liberated the championship and made it feel unpredictable and dangerous again, the way it should be on SmackDown. Fans have echoed this sentiment loudly, criticizing the idea of a third McIntyre-Rhodes match as repetitive after so many high-stakes clashes. We've seen Rhodes overcome massive odds countless times, and many agree WWE needs a fresh pivot for WrestleMania to avoid diminishing returns. Things are looking rougher for Triple H and the WWE creative team when it comes to WrestleMania 42's momentum. The event, set for April in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, is in a significant ticket slump. Recent reports from the Wrestling Observer newsletter indicate sales are lagging even more than the previous week. Over Valentine's Day weekend, WWE tried a 25% price reduction across seats to spark interest, but it backfired. Sales actually dropped or showed zero movement at the discounted levels. The show is currently down about 17,252 tickets, including comps, compared to last year's pace, putting it roughly 19.3% behind WrestleMania 41's trajectory. Last year's two-night event eventually sold over 113,000 tickets and pulled in more than $66 million in revenue. Right now, WrestleMania 42 is struggling to build hype, with high-end seats still priced up to $5,000 and nosebleeds around $600. Without major product shakeups or further price drops, it's going to be tough to close the gap in the coming weeks. The lack of announced matches and overall story momentum isn't helping drive urgency for fans to buy. On the topic of rising stars potentially being mishandled, there's concern around Femi after his recent appearance on WWE Main Event, the YouTube-exclusive show often seen as a dumping ground for talents without big plans. Femi, who's been hyped as a dominant force since his main roster debut and had rumors swirling about a prominent WrestleMania spot, maybe even against someone like Brock Lesnar, showed up there this week, defeating Joaquin Wilde in a quick 3-minute squash. While he looked strong and imposing, fans are worried this signals WWE isn't prioritizing him for major TV. Former WWE star Baron Corbin defended the booking on X, saying it's just representatives in front of a live crowd to build experience. That's fair to a point, but many argue those representatives could happen on Raw or SmackDown instead of a low viewership platform. There's talk of Femi entering a program with Rusev on Raw soon, which could elevate him, But using main event feels like an odd step backward for someone viewed as the next big thing. WWE can't afford to fumble his push if they want him to become a cornerstone. Shifting to injuries, Bianca Belair finally underwent surgery on her finger after a long ordeal. She shared on Instagram that it took 10 months since the initial injury, 8 months of rehab, and consultations with 5 different doctors before getting the green light. She thanked her surgeon for listening and fixing the issue, noting how complicated fingers and joints can be. The post included a graphic surgical image, prompting her to add a disclaimer. Fellow talents like Io Sky sent well wishes, and even Zelina Vega sent flowers, a nice locker room gesture. Belair won't be cleared for WrestleMania 42 action, but reports suggest WWE wants her involved somehow, perhaps as a guest host or in a non-wrestling role, depending on her recovery timeline. The locker room clearly misses her presence, and fans are eager for her full return. Looking ahead, another premium live event has been revealed for 2026. Night of Champions is tentatively set for June 27th in Saudi Arabia, likely in Jeddah, continuing tradition of big June shows there. It could revive the King and Queen of the Ring format again. However, there's growing concern about WWE's PLE spacing post-WrestleMania, with some events only 3 weeks apart, which might not give enough time to build compelling stories and matches properly. John Cena's legacy continues to shine even after retirement. A new report from Post Wrestling, citing Polestar, reveals his final match at Saturday night's main event on December 13, 2025, in Washington, D.C., set the all-time record for the highest gate in WWE arena history at $6,553,883. This tops the previous mark from Raw's Netflix premiere earlier in 2025. With 17,121 tickets sold, an average of around $383, it's likely the biggest arena gate in pro wrestling history when adjusted for inflation. Cena's draw power was undeniable, and these numbers highlight why his send-off was such a massive financial success. Whether this record gets broken remains to be seen, but it's a testament to his enduring star power. WWE is also working on a new documentary focused on Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. According to WrestleVotes, it's a full-length feature with fresh interviews from peers and rivals, recently completed and nearing release. It could land on Netflix, ESPN, or Peacock, offering an updated look at HBK's career from in-ring legend to NXT leader. In NXT news, Sol Ruca is reportedly getting a slight character refresh ahead of a main roster call-up. This includes a potential new theme song, as internal sources feel her NXT run has run its course. She's been impressive, especially in the Royal Rumble, and a jump to Raw or SmackDown seems imminent, possibly around Elimination Chamber timing. Fans hope WWE doesn't overdo the changes. Her current vibe works well, and not every call-up needs a drastic overhaul or new track, especially if it's from the same production team. Tiffany Stratton is balancing her WWE career with a return to competitive bodybuilding. She announced on TikTok that she's 9 weeks out from her second show ever, sharing training clips and explaining how she had to pause bodybuilding after signing with WWE but now feels ready to juggle both. It's inspiring to see her pursue passions outside wrestling while staying active in the ring. WWE remains interested in Bad Bunny for WrestleMania 42. Reports indicate positive early talks with his team about availability, even for a non-match appearance. A bout with Logan Paul has been rumored heavily, possibly as a multi-man tag involving others like LA Knight or Penta. However, the latest from the Wrestling Observer says nothing is booked yet, and while it's expected to happen eventually, it's not on the immediate horizon, likely not even at WrestleMania. Former champion Shayna Baszler has returned in a new capacity, appearing as a coach at recent NXT tryouts alongside Bayley, per Shawn Michaels posted footage. This aligns with rumors of Baszler transitioning to backstage work post-retirement. Finally, actor Paul Walter Hauser is attached to play Mick Foley in an upcoming limited series biopic. Hauser broke the news himself, noting it's in development and generating buzz given his rising profile. And in a fun, collectible twist, CM Punk is getting a custom spinner title replica on WWE Shop to honor his history, bringing back the iconic spinning mechanism from the mid-2000s. That's the roundup of the hottest stories and rumors right now. The road to WrestleMania 42 is heating up with twists, frustrations, and big potential. What do you think? Will ticket sales rebound, or does WWE need a major shakeup? Drop your thought below. subscribe for more daily updates, and I'll catch you next time with fresh wrestling content.